What is going on, everybody? It is Monday. That means a weekend wrap up of this past weekend's games, some news, and looking forward to this week's batch of games. Um, we're going to hit on some of these games, not going to hit on all of them. Keep this a little quicker, a little easier to digest. Going to start off from last Friday's games because I did not cover those. Um, some ones that stand out. Um, the Cavs got the W against the Nets, 100 Nets, 105 Cavs. Um, they're having a great start to the year. I don't think you need me to tell you that. Um, they're hitting on all cylinders. Um, I haven't had a chance to watch a lot of those games, but I have seen the highlights, and the highlights are just chef's kiss. They're very, very, very nice to watch. Um, the Jazz beat the Spurs 111 to 110. Lauri Markkanen with 20 points. Always a big Lauri Markkanen fan. Always a fan of his game. The Clippers beat the Raptors 105 to 103. James Harden at 24, 12, and 7. A little vintage James Harden there. And James is just being the engine of this Clippers team without Kawhi. Still no word on if he's going to play anytime soon. Like I theorized, I don't think he's going to play the whole season. I think Steve Ballmer and that group over there is just trying to sell the Clippers fans false hope because they're in a new arena, because they want to improve, they want to keep the ticket sales up because you want this first season to look good. But I don't think Kawhi's going to play. And I think the way it's looking, the Clippers would, you can see it in front of you. You can see it on the ESPN National Basketball Association standings. This is for the whole league, obviously. They're sitting at 6-4. I could see them hovering around 500 for the whole year. I don't think they'll be able to get any separation from any of these other Western Conference teams. I mean, Dallas is right there, Sacramento is right there, Timberwolves are right there, Rockets are right there. Some of these teams can get separation. I think once the Lakers hit their stride, they'll be able to get some separation. The Grizzlies will be able to get some separation. The Nuggets will be able to get some separation. But any team around like the Rockets, Minnesotas, the Dallases, I don't think they'll be able to get any separation. Moving on to last night's games, Nikola Jokic and company handled the Mavs 122 to 120. Triple double for him, 37, 18, and 15. I know some people that watch these videos don't like my takes about the Nuggets. Um, I'll eat my own words right now. They're playing better than they did at the start of the season. I will say that. They're playing better. I can't deny that. They beat a competent Dallas team who is looking kind of murky right now, looking kind of flat, but they've shown they can pick it up when they need to, and the Nuggets have obviously picked it up, and I'll tip my cap to them as of this moment. Um, the Celtics picked up the dub against the Bucks 113-107 behind a Jason Tatum 30 bomb. 9-2 on the season. This would be 9-2 would be very impressive if the Cavs weren't, was it 11-0, 12-0 now? They're the reigning champs. I'm always a huge proponent of, if you're the reigning champs, you should take it sort of slow. I'm not saying go through the motions, but win the games you're supposed to win. If you're gonna lose games, at least make them close. You know, don't get blown out. The Bucks are still looking like um, absolute dumpster juice. Um, I have my opinions all here about them. We don't need to go into them as of right now. Lakers beat the Raptors Um, Pacers beat the Knicks 132 to 121 behind a Benedict Mathurin, almost 40 piece. He had 38, career high for him. 7 made threes, career high. I've been a huge Benedict Mathurin fan. Um, I think he's a really underrated piece um, of that Pacers team. Um, I think on certain nights like this night, he's the second best player on the Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton has been having a sort of down year. If you just go by the hierarchy, I think it's Pascal, Benedict Mathurin, and then Miles Turner. You know, I'm not saying I'm not trying to overreact to the Tyrese Halliburton slow start or slump, but I think in any situation, you need to have these young guys step up, and Ben has done that. It's great to see. Um, Steph and company beat the 8-2 OKC Thunder 116 to 127. The Warriors improve 8-12. 8-12. 8-2. Pardon me. 8-2. I don't know where I got 12 from. Steph doing his thing, man. Um, it's always great to see Steph just manhandle Oklahoma. He's been doing it for years, and I think he'll keep on doing it. Let's see what else we got here. Uh, Jared McCain, the TikTok guy. Career high 27 points, 3 rebounds, 3 made threes, and a 2-point win in overtime against the Charlotte Hornets. Um, I do want to shout out Lamelo. Lamelo has been very durable thus far. It's only a dozen games in, but he's been playing immaculately. Immaculately? Superb. Superb. That's a better word. He's been playing superb. Um, I think. I think I'm a big Tyrese Halliburton fan, but I think Lamelo's getting that edge on him, man. I know Tyrese is having a down year, and Lamelo's had a great start to his year, but these are the things when you start getting deep in your career. The hierarchy of best point guard in any conference or any division starts to come up a lot more. And is Lamelo the best point guard in the East? Perhaps. I mean, obviously you have Dame. Obviously you have Tyrese. Um, is Ben Simmons even a point guard anymore? I don't even think they classify him as a point guard anymore. But I think Lamelo could take that spot if he stays healthy and he takes this Hornets team to at least a play in. That'd be great. Um, yeah, they did not win last night. 2 point deficit. And gotta give Tyler Hero his flowers too. He's been playing great. 26 points, 6 rebounds, 4 made threes, and a 1 point win in regulation against the Timberwolves. The Heat are almost at 500, 4-5, and the Timberwolves are 6-4 on the season. And yeah, that's the weekend wrap up. I mean, I'm looking through these game logs and stuff, and um, it's still really close. I mean, obviously you can see it in front of you. There's not a lot of separation for a lot of these teams. Um, I think the separation will come um, once some of these teams have to prove what they can do without their star players. That being said, we do have some injuries. It is that point of the season where you've played a couple games, a freak accident happens, something sore. We got the news over the weekend that Zion suffered a hamstring strain and will be out indefinitely and will be reevaluated in the coming weeks. I said this at the top of the season. I'll say it again. The Pelicans should just blow it up. Just blow it up, man. It's not working. Whatever David Griffin is doing, whatever I like their coach. I can't remember his name. Willie Green. I like what really Willie Green's doing. I don't like what um, David Griffin's doing. It's just bad team construction, and you're just gonna keep paying these guys, and they already have Is it Herbert Jones? I think he's out. Or is it the other one? I can't even remember. I always get the two confused, but they have two key players out, and it's Bi, CJ McCollum, and a bunch of guys. Um, just blow and I can't believe I almost forgot Dejounte Murray. Is he injured too? I don't even see. There's so much going on with this organization. I don't even know. But you're running on basically nothing. Just blow it up. Just reset. Just a soft reset. Maybe you keep Zion. Hey, you want to trade Zion? When he comes back, let him play a couple games and then look around during the trade deadline. Go for it. But right now, it's not looking good. And I feel for Zion, but in a way, like at a certain point, you just have to say, maybe this is just who Zion is, and he's just injury prone. Maybe this is who he is. Maybe he's only a 40 to 50 game guy a year. You got to include the playoffs in that. If they make the playoffs, if Zion plays 40 or 60 games for the rest of his career, what the team around him needs to be superb. I like Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram isn't that guy though. DeJounte Murray isn't that guy. CJ McCollum, Mr. President, isn't that guy. So you need to look yourself in the mirror and say, well, if Zion's only going to play 40 to 60 games a season, we need to bring in somebody that can stay healthy and that can win us some games by himself. Now that's not going to come cheap, but you need to find something. You need to find something, or just blow it up entirely, because it ain't working. It ain't working. Zion might not be able to be. He might want to be. He might have all the skills. He might not. He might have all the talent to. But if his body's not going to cooperate, then he can't be. He can't be 1A. He has to be 1B on a team, and that's okay. That's okay. Anthony Davis tried to be a 1A in New Orleans. They got a couple playoff runs. They got a couple great playoff games, and then he was 1B behind LeBron, and they won a championship. And now, a little deeper in his career this year, he's proven to be a 1A. He's leading MVP conversations at this moment, at this current time. So maybe Zion has to take a 1B backseat for a little bit. Obviously, you're not going to get a LeBron James to a guy who's been healthy, a guy who can lead you to championship, but you need something. I don't even have an idea of who that could be, because there aren't a lot of guys that can win you games, stay healthy, and also let the other guy get nicked up every now and then. There's just not out there. But that's a conversation for another day. Um, Last night, Chet took a hard fall right on his hip. When I saw, I thought, oh, that's going to be a rough contusion. I was wrong. He fractured his right. I don't even know how to say that. He fractured his right hip. Um, and he will return in 8 to 10 weeks, hopefully. That's a huge blow for them. That's a huge blow for OKC. Um, they're 8-2. They lost last night, obviously, to the Warriors. They don't have Isaiah Hartenstein. Um, I don't know. I don't think they're over the limit. They might have. They might have their that minimum. They might have their mid level exception. But I think I think you definitely need somebody else, because even with Isaiah Hartenstein coming back, obviously he would start. I think you need somebody else while Chet is on the mend. Um, just because you're in this Western Conference, where the Warriors are right on your behind. The Nuggets are right on your behind. The Grizzlies are right on their behind, you know? Um it's just not it's just not a good time to get injured. Obviously it's a freak injury, so you deal with it, but yeah. And lastly, in the bad news section, Kevin Durant, off to an MVP start, um, suffered a left calf strain on Friday night, will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. That's not too bad. Um, they obviously had a lot of good things going. Whatever Mike Budenholzer is doing over there um, is working. Um, Obviously, this is why you get Bradley Beal. This is why you bolster your bench. So if one of these guys goes down, if Kevin goes down, you can survive, not thrive, but survive. I think that's a good call. This is what that's a good call by the front office and Matt Ishbia, that you get these two All Stars, you get three, you always have two, at least two, you know, and you have a solid big in Yusef Nurkic, so you can be okay. Um, but yeah, that is the bad news section. Um, Never fun to have injuries, especially this early in the season, only like a dozen games in. But it is the nature of the game and the sport we all love. Um, let's go to the power rankings provided by the NBA app. Cleveland is trending upward, obviously undefeated throughout the season so far. The Warriors sitting at 2 in an upward trajectory at 8-2. OKC trending down a little bit, but I think that's obviously because Chet's not going to be there, and the timetable on Isaiah Hartenstein, I don't know it, but I assume he's going to at least miss another week or two, and then he has to get back in the game shape. Um, Boston trending downward at 9-2, and Phoenix trending downward at 8-2. I think that's pretty accurate. I think at some point the Cavs are going to lose. Duh. Let me finish. The Cavs are going to lose, but I think it will probably be a losing streak. It won't just be one. Because once somebody figures out how to beat him, everybody's going to watch the film, everybody's going to see it, and everybody's be like, oh, that's how we do it. And they're going to lose like 2 in a row or 3 in a row. And they'll still be like 11-2. And Boston might catch up at that time, but they've shown that they're a good team. So I think the power ranking is correct here. Warriors obviously upward trajectory. Buddy Hield. Hey, I was given Mike Dunleavy Jr. a bit of you dig in the off season. This is a pretty good team. This is a pretty good bench. Buddy Hield's a steal of a deal, and they're up. And obviously OKC, Boston trending downwards for obvious reasons. We don't need to go into that right now. We can check back in on those power rankings later. Um, let's move to this week's games, or at least cover the next 2 days. Tuesday, the big time games, and the NBA Emirates Cup is starting. Um, this is New York at Philly and Dallas in the Bay in San Francisco. I'm going to take the Knicks, obviously. The the Sixers don't have anybody to stop Cat. Um, can PG get them the win? I do not think so. They have Mikal Bridges, they have Josh Hart, they have just a bunch of bodies to throw at PG. He's still trying to do his thing. Um, Still trying to work his way to be MVP PG or whatever he was with the Clippers, but I got the Knicks. Take the over on Cat's points. I think he's gonna have a great game. Um, Dallas at Golden State. I I hate to say it, I think Clay's gonna have a good game. I think, and the Warriors might not be able to stop Luca, but Luca's been kind of, kind of, what's it called? Like he's been kind of dinged up. He's been walking around kind of dinged. So maybe the Warriors could get the win, but I expect Kyrie to have a good game. Um, he always plays good against Steph, and I expect Steph to have a good game too. So take the over on both their points, I would say, if you're a betting type of person. And then Wednesday's games, New Orleans at OKC. I think that's an easy one for OKC, even without Chet. Um, New Orleans, they don't have the firepower. If they pull it out, it will be because CJ did something crazy, or I don't know. I'm taking OKC. And the last game on Wednesday night, Memphis, last big game, Memphis at the Lakers. Ja Morant talking all types of ish about we don't like them. That has never turned out well for Ja. So I'm going to take the Lakers. Um, I would take I would take the over on 80 points because I have a feeling either AD is gonna have a great game or a good or a bad game against Zach Edey. Um, Jaren always plays him well, always plays AD well, but I don't think he has it this time. Um, and yeah, I think that's it. And we'll get to Thursday's games and Friday's games when they come along. But for now, that's it. That's a bit of a weekend wrap up. Looking forward to this week's games as well, going over some injuries, etc., etc. If you like the video, um, consider liking it. I know you guys are commenting, good and bad. I like all the comments, criticism, whatever. I'm still new to this, so please, if you don't like something or you think I'm wrong, please tell me. I I love the conversation. That's why I do this. Um, I love reading comments on Instagram, on Twitter, on other people's posts. So for it to be on mine is always cool, and it can never be too harsh. So please give your takes down below as well, even if you disagree with me. Yeah, subscribe. Maybe subscribe. That'd be cool. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Cheers.